think that there's wrongs on both sides and they both need to find a middle ground.
And I don't think that's fair that Tim gets all the blame for it. At the end of the day, Sarah was the one cancelling the dates. You know what I mean?
If Tori were a nicer person, I would empathize with her. But the audacity to say I get paid big bucks to deal with men like Tim, so I'm going to embarrass him and bring him down, is like, seriously. Look at the man beside you. He's not defending you. He's not saying anything. That must say something for Jack to keep quiet. If I were you, I would ask the other wives whether they heard anything from their husbands before you open your mouth and start having a go at Timothy, whether or not he's right or wrong. But anyway, I digress. Hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Married at First Sight Australia, Season 11, Episode 12. It's about to go down and I'm here for it. And it's a pity that Tori has flames for the wrong person. Anyway, so today's the second dinner party. You have husbands, you have Tristan and Richard get flowers for their wives in preparation, just to cheer them up before the dinner. You have Ben Ellie is more worried for Ben that, the wives are going to put him in the hot seat just because of the fact that she told them that he was mocking her. You have Jaden and Eden. They're in a happy place, so they don't care about the drama. And then you have these two storms brewing, in the sense that apparently on his time out, Timothy ran into Tori, and he told her, well, I think he's still carrying beef from the what do you call it? I think he's still carrying beef from the fact that he was exposed, that he said he would sleep with his bride on the first day. And because he hasn't slept with his bride, Richard sort of called him out and said, well, you said you were a very sexual person, so for you to say you're a slow burner, that's not what you said. So I think that's where his beef comes from. And I think this is why he's got smoke for Tori and Jack, just because he feels like they allowed him to be exposed, that he's really not feeling his wife. So I think he has been looking for something to say, or maybe he just doesn't like Jack, because he told Tori that, your husband is not into you. And, he told us he's not into you. And for Tori to sort of go against that and say, oh, he's trying to diminish us, we're the strongest couple. I can't wait for this fight. I really can't wait for it, because sadly, Tori thinks she's defending her husband when her husband is the one that has left her out, in the way of trouble, in the sense when her husband is the one who has exposed the truth about his feelings towards her, and she doesn't realize this. She's busy going around sort of defending a man who said he's not attracted to her. He's also said in his confessionals he's not attracted to his wife. So I don't get why he's not owning up to his wife, and why he's prepared to go down with the ship and pretend like he loves his wife, even though he told all the husbands that he's not attracted to his wife. He doesn't feel anything towards her. And so he is just, riding the storm and hoping for the best. I can't wait for this dinner party. I really can't wait for it to start and see what happens. So all the couples are going for the dinner party, and the first to arrive at the dinner party are Sarah and Tim, and it could not be more awkward. I don't think Sarah's there for the right reasons. I think Sarah's there to be on TV, because if she was there for the right reasons, every time she tells this man what she wants, he tries his best to do it, and then she has to find fault in it. And it's like, what do you want? Do you want him to change, or do you want to just continue to just criticize him until he says no on commitment day? Make it make sense. So while they're busy sort of trying to dissect why they're not getting along, you have Lauren and Jonathan walk in, which was, I think, a good idea, because then they were able to diffuse the situation, because they then talked about genital cupping and stuff, and it just, broke the ice. Next in was Jaden and Eden. They seem to be in a happy place. You then had Richard and Andrea walk in. They are in an amazing place. And then you had Tristan and Cassandra walk in. And I like the fact that the guys tried to lift up his spirit. I think he's their wives must have told them that Cassandra is being put off by the fact that he's too negative, because they were saying to him, every time you feel negative about yourself, just sort of think that you're also bringing us down. So every time you're saying all these nasty things about yourself, what you're saying or what you're thinking about yourself is affecting everybody else. So maybe try and think positively of yourself and speak positively of yourself, and that would help with everybody else around you and not make them feel like crap. And I think that was a good idea. I think it's nice that everybody's trying to sort of bring him up, and the fact that Richard told him that everybody has their demons. Everybody has demons. Everybody has demons. We might not say them out loud, but everybody has demons that they're battling. And so to have people sort of be there to help you through some of the rough times is amazing. And I love the fact that, they also Jonathan acknowledged that he has an amazing wife. I think all the guys are impressed by Cassandra, which is good. And so to see that other people appreciate his wife, I hope Tristan, seeing that other people appreciate his wife, will allow him to think positively of himself, and will allow him to sort of realize that, if he plays stupid games, he's going to lose an amazing woman, and there will be a line of people waiting to pick her up. So I hope this helps him, really. It's the audacity for me. The audacity. I feel sorry for Tori. She doesn't realize how stupid she looks. She doesn't realize that, because at least Timothy is not telling people that he's not attracted to Lucinda, whereas her husband is telling anyone with ears to hear that he's not attracted to his wife. So for her to brag that she gets paid to argue with businessmen and put them in their place, this is not it. You're fighting a losing battle. I wonder how she feels when she sees what her husband was saying about her behind her back, because it's well and dandy if her husband was saying, I'm attracted to my wife, but I'm just not there yet. I don't feel we should have sex. I think we want to get to know one another first. Or if her husband wasn't even saying anything about attraction, but her husband has told everyone that he's a sexual being, he likes to be in control, and he's not attracted to his wife. He's not getting the feeling that he wants to rip her clothes off or he wants to have sex with her now. And so for her to think that Timothy is incorrect, if I were her, I would have checked with all the other husbands first to say, did my husband say anything? Before you humiliate yourself on national TV for everyone else to watch and think, oh, poor darling, she doesn't realize what this bugger is saying behind her back. So Ben and Ellie are the last people to arrive. And it seems, Ben is very nervous because he's worried that the wives are going to attack him because of the comments that he's made to his wife. And I get it. I understand it. But then, so when he gets there, obviously she sits down with Eden, Lauren, and Sarah. And for me, it's a bit hypocritical for Sarah to be there. It's a bit rich for her to have an opinion, given how she's treating her husband. If I were Sarah, I would keep quiet. Sarah and Tori need to be the people with the lowest tone of voice in the room, because of one, Sarah, the way she's treating her husband, and Tori, the way she's tolerating crap from Jack. They both need to keep quiet. I understand Lauren, but because Lauren and her husband Jonathan, obviously they go head to head if needed, but I would prefer that those other two women keep quiet. So you have Ellie sort of let the wives know that, her husband told her we're not a perfect match and he had mocked her, so she felt some type of way. And then they come up with this plan to sort of go into attack mode and sort of question him in regards to his comments. And it's like, why? Why never involve yourself in somebody else's marriage? Just because once they get back home, you are going to be enemy number one. They're going to be talking about you and they're going to be saying how you hate their marriage and how you are trying to bring them apart. I don't get it. Anyway, they're then called for dinner because, dinner's served. This dinner party is off the rails. It's a train that's off the tracks. It's just running. No one is there to stop it. First of all, people go after Ben. I'm surprised that Jonathan has such an opinion. He's got no opinion for his wife, but he's very opinionated when it comes to somebody else and their wife. Make that make sense. Yes, I understand, Ben is not telling the truth. But for Jonathan, who has been yelled at by his wife that I need your opinion, I need to see your character, I need to see this. Suddenly he's got vim for Ben. Why? Why? That has nothing to do with him. He can give his opinion, but he needs to keep it moving. He needs to keep quiet. Unless he's trying to get in his wife's books, good books, and, hold Ben's feet to the fire. Yes, Ben is lying. We all know that he's not attracted to his wife. He doesn't want to have children. He's just saying what he thinks people need to hear from him. Otherwise, that's it. And I'm not buying it, sadly. And the other wives, Sarah needs to keep quiet. Her opinion is not needed. She's treated her husband terribly, so she needs to keep quiet. Her voice is not needed when it comes to the Ben and Ellie story. And then Lauren is a train wreck. Lauren is going to give her opinion on anything and everything, irregardless of whether it's needed. Yes, Ben is wrong. He needs to tell the truth. Is he attracted to his wife? Does he see himself having children? Does he think his wife is a perfect match? Seriously, that's all he needs to answer. And after all, he's not answerable to everybody else. He's answerable to his wife and the experts that matched him. And that's it. Then, obviously, Tim has to come in with his own opinion. Well, Tim, I think, was being riled up. Tim, I think, still feels some type of way about the fact that he was outed, that he's not attracted to his wife. So he's going to out other people. And you can see at the start of the conversation about the Tori and Jack situation. When he's talking that Jack is not attracted to his wife, Jack is not saying anything. He's hiding. He's looking here, there, everywhere. And yet his wife, because she's so riled up by the fact that other people can see through her marriage, she's busy focused on the wrong person. Instead of looking at her husband and realizing that actually he's not attracted to me, she wants to prove a point that she's paid big bucks to go after businessmen. Okay, do you, love? For me, it's the audacity. It's the audacity I'm going to say again about Tori, because she's saying that, Timothy needs to focus on his yard. He needs to focus on his marriage. He doesn't even like his wife. Just because she and Jack are not having any sex, that doesn't mean that they are not miles ahead. They're leaps and bounds ahead, even more than people who are having sex. And it's like, this has been your mission statement since you started. You've always felt you were the most attractive couple. You were doing the best more than anybody else. Something in your head should tell you that why is your husband quiet? Why is he not disputing or going against what Timothy is saying? He hasn't uttered a single word. All the ladies around the table are speaking up for you, but your husband is there, is quiet. And yet we all know Jack to be very opinionated, to be very vocal, to be very aggressive and very sort of derogatory towards other people. So the fact that he's not saying anything should tell you that, maybe there is an inch of truth to what Timothy is saying. Maybe your husband has said something that makes Timothy believe that you are not compatible. Your husband is not sexually attracted to you. He is faking your relationship with you. I don't get it. I really don't get it. And for her to go on the attack, even for Lauren to say, oh, you've dated a 23-year-old, why are they putting down Lucinda, a woman like themselves, so that, Tori can feel good about herself? Obviously, some of those women at the table must know that Jack told the husbands that he's not attracted to his wife. But instead of them owning up and telling their friend the truth, they've decided to go and attack someone who's saying it out to the group just because it goes against what they want. So they'd rather put down Lucinda and her marriage down so that they can make Tori feel good. I didn't like that. I'm so furious and I'm so upset. I like how Andrea was able to diffuse the situation by asking, who likes, someone putting their tongue in their ear and stuff. And that was cute to see. Because it lightened the mood and made people laugh. And then you have Tristan and Cassandra sort of checking in on each other. And then, Lauren picked up on it and was saying, oh, I really like the two of you together. I think there must be something very positive about them. In order for other people to be fighting for their marriage this much, it must say a lot about them as a team. And you can see, as Cassandra is talking about how Tristan has treated her since they got married, you can see the pride on his face. You can see the pride in his eyes that, this is his wife and he's doing his best to look after her. He told them he's gone to the gym in the morning and on his way back he bought her flowers, and she acknowledged that the flowers were amazing. And so it's nice to see that there are two people who entered the experiment for the right reasons and have done everything within their power to sort of see how they can make this thing work. And this is when marriage at first sight works. When you have two people that are willing to do the work, to work on their marriage, to grow it and make it work, that's amazing. Obviously, you have Tori, you know, all over her husband. And it's like, you're doing too much, love. You're doing too much. Sit down and just relax. And then obviously people start checking in on Tim, and here we go again. There really has to be something wrong for the likes of Cassandra and Tristan to involve themselves in your business. There really has to be something wrong. Because you have Sarah and Tim have this conversation. Obviously, Tim is asked, how is he? We saw at the last commitment ceremony how Sarah was talking all over him. And so for him to try and say that, you know, I've arranged 3 days, 3 weeks in a row, and she's cancelled. And for her to go in on one, I'm surprised Cassandra said something, but she was right to say something because everybody has an opinion. And I think everybody was taken aback because you wouldn't have expected her to say anything. And everybody agrees that she's wrong. Even her friends agree that Sarah's wrong. And so for you to have Tim apologize and she still talks over him and has a go at him, or you were being hyped up by the boys, that's why you had a voice to say something, otherwise, she's so patronizing, so derogatory. She's even worse than Jack, and that says a lot. We all know Jack is terrible. And so for you to be said you're worse than Jack, then you have to question yourself. For a man to try and apologize and for her to still see fault in him, I don't think she likes him. I think she's sexually attracted to him, but I think there's something else going on. Either she's got a boyfriend at home, or either she just came to be famous and doesn't see herself getting married to someone at this point in time and is looking for an excuse to get him to say, no, I'm done, I want to go home. Something is not right with Sarah, and I don't know what it is. And for her friends to say she's in the wrong, but not say it to her face, doesn't make sense. You had Ellie, you had Tori. They're all saying the same thing, that she is wrong for the way she spoke to Tim. She's wrong for cancelling on dates with Tim. But they can't say it to her face, doesn't make sense. And then to have a storm off crying, I want to go home, I'm done. Go home. I hope he writes leave, and I hope the experts hold her feet to the fire and show her how she behaved and how terrible it is. And to have, you know, someone like Tim, she could have done worse. She could have ended up with Ben. She could have ended up with Jack. She could have ended up with Timothy. But she ended up with one of the nicest guys in the experiment. And this is how she's behaving. Oh my God, I feel sorry for him. Anyway, I digress. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. And click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 11. Bye guys.